Coming up on Mountain News this morning, investigators in the Nancy Guthrie case appear to have hit a wall. Plus, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis makes a stop in Kentucky, why he wants the Commonwealth to help tackle the national debt.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm Neely Green here with you on this Thursday, February 19th. The time is now 6 o'clock, and let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusnell for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, it's Thursday, it's almost Friday, it's almost the weekend, and then it's almost Monday again.
Don't speed us up that quickly. I know it's been a very fast past 2 months of 2026, but
no, I'm looking forward to Friday.
Good, good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to some better weather because we are looking at not only those storm chances later tonight, but also rain and fog as you're starting off your day. So here's a look at that current visibility as you're heading out the door. Many folks seeing less than 5-mile visibility, so just be careful as you're heading out and about. Looks like it's a little bit clearer for those living closer to Monticello, Williamsburg, and Somerset. But in terms of that rain, this is what we're looking at on satellite and radar. Rain is mostly for our central to northern counties, stretching from portions of Jackson to Wayne, West Virginia. And that's what we'll continue to watch throughout the next several hours. Again, we're looking at some storms making a return later tonight. But for temperatures, expect a mixture of the 50s with afternoon highs in a mixture of the upper 60s and low 70s. Again, keep in mind, though, that rain is just going to be in that forecast for a lot of your day. Partly cloudy skies otherwise. Neely.
Thank you, Megan. Now let's get to some breaking news. UK police officers have arrested former Prince Andrew over his alleged ties to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was being investigated over documents that indicated he shared government information with Epstein. Multiple police vehicles were seen this morning at his home. Police confirmed in a statement they arrested a man in his 60s on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Powerful winds are fueling fast-moving wildfires from Colorado to Texas and Oklahoma. In Woodward, Oklahoma, a wildfire scorched thousands of acres, forcing families there to evacuate their homes. The winds have been so strong, firefighters have not been able to use helicopters or airplanes to drop water on the massive flames. It's a similar story in southwestern Kansas, where crews say the fire stretches more than 6 miles. And in Elbert County, Colorado, neighbors jumped in to help battle a blaze that torched more than 5,000 acres.
I'm a retired firefighter and just asked if they needed a driver, needed help, so came out and been here helping.
Back in western Oklahoma, red flag warnings for dangerously high winds and low humidity were in effect yesterday evening. Now to the sad news out of California. Authorities say they found the bodies of 8 skiers after an avalanche hit near Lake Tahoe Tuesday morning. A 9th person is still unaccounted for. 6 people in that same group were found and rescued Wednesday. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
Blinding snow in California's Sierra Mountains has put efforts to recover the bodies of 8 skiers on hold. The group killed in an avalanche near Castle Peak earlier this week. The Nevada County Sheriff says a 9th skier is still missing but presumed dead.
Our mission now is to get them home.
The avalanche hit Tuesday morning as the group of 11 skiers and 4 instructors were returning from a 3-day trek.
It was reported by the individuals that survived that they were attempting to go out as a group, that someone saw the avalanche, yelled avalanche, and then it overtook them.
Emergency beacons helped rescuers find the 6 survivors, 5 women and 1 man.
They were sheltered. They had themselves already started, looking for their teammates and their clients that were missing.
2 were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. While authorities have not released the names, the company that led the group, Blackbird Mountain Guides, has released a statement saying it's mourning the loss of 6 clients and 3 tour guides. Questions are now swirling about why the group stayed on the mountain until Tuesday, when an avalanche watch was issued Sunday morning. Now authorities are warning the threat is far from over.
It's treacherous. Avoid the backcountry.
Recovery teams are not expected to go back out until the weather clears. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Black Mountain Guide says it's working to support those affected by the avalanche and is cooperating with authorities. The company says it is suspending field operations through February 22nd at the earliest. Investigators in the Nancy Guthrie case have appeared to hit a wall. Nearly 3 weeks into the search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the Pima County Sheriff says this disturbing doorbell video of a masked suspect is the only video they've recovered so far. The FBI is visiting gun stores in the area, trying to see if the suspect seen at Guthrie's store bought a gun or even the holster nearby. Meanwhile, investigators are using signal sniffers technology to pick up pings from Guthrie's pacemaker.
Devices, what happens is they transmit every 2 to 3 minutes, and you're able to pick this specific signal up from hundreds of feet away up in the air. You can definitely leverage sensitive tools to home in on this range.
911 dispatchers around Tucson are adapting their questions as they say thousands of calls for tips continue to flood in. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg testified in Los Angeles in a lawsuit brought by a woman and her mother. The now 20-year-old claims Instagram and YouTube purposefully designed features on their platforms to addict young users. She says she became addicted as a child and it harmed her mental health. Zuckerberg was questioned about the amount of time users spend on Instagram and how the platform tries to prevent children under 13 from using it. There are more than 1,500 similar lawsuits, but this is the first to go to trial. Another bill lawmakers discussed in Frankfurt was House Bill 455. It was the House Licensing and Occupations Committee, if passed, would prevent therapy and psychological services from using AI to do therapy or diagnose or pick out mental illnesses. A slight amendment to the bill would prohibit someone who works in the mental health field, like a psychologist or psychiatrist, to turn on AI and then charge money for that advice.
So I just want a human to interact with other humans when we are dealing with mental illness.
The House bill and its amendment were both approved. It now moves on to the House. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was in Kentucky asking state lawmakers to support a balanced budget amendment to the U.S. Constitution. DeSantis says an amendment is needed to stop massive spending and leading to trillions in debt. Kentucky lawmakers are considering the House Concurrent Resolution 45. If passed, this resolution would call on Congress to send a balanced budget amendment to the states for approval. Kentucky would be the 29th state to pass that kind of resolution.
But if our government gets to the point where it has to default on its debt, admit to the world that it has borrowed us so far out over the edge that it can't even find places to borrow enough money just to service the debt. What do you think that will do to Wall Street and the global economy?
The reason I'm here is because I don't think Congress is going to fix itself.
The committee did not take action on the resolution. DeSantis says the legislator could add safeguards to stop a convention from making other changes to the Constitution. Governor Andy Beshear announced he is writing a book about the status of the country and how to heal it. On his personal Facebook page, Beshear said the book will be called Go and Do Likewise, How to Heal a Broken Country. The book cover features Governor Beshear and his dog Winnie. The book is set to hit store shelves in September. Recently, he's been on several national outlets. He says he has not made an announcement about running for president, but what are his actions saying?
And that he's running for president. This is something that presidential candidates often do. They work up a campaign biography that introduces them in depth.
Cross says Beshear's challenge, if he runs for higher office, is Kentucky does not have a big base to launch a national campaign.
We're watching those pleasant temperatures this morning as you're heading out the door. Mixture of the 50s can be expected for you. It's about 52 degrees right now in Boonville and Stanton, 56 in Prestonsburg, 52 in Whitesburg, 54 in Harlan, and by the afternoon we'll see a mixture of the upper 60s and low 70s. Definitely going to feel pretty warm today, and with that rain, it's also going to be on the humid side, so it might be a little noticeable that there is some moisture in the air. Speaking of that rain, here's what we're seeing right now on satellite and radar. You can notice that rain is shifting more towards our northern counties, but take a look towards Tennessee. That's where we're going to start to see that next chance of rain enter back into the forecast as well. So for the next 12 hours, really just going to be watching rain chances on and off throughout the day, but storm chances are returning as we're heading later this evening and into the very early hours of your Friday. Neely.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. In one climbing gym, there's a program for people who have Parkinson's. They say it helps ease their symptoms and help them reach new heights. We'll have that story.